Hey everybody, this is Stephen with Junior Achievement of North Florida. We have a JA Career Speaker Series today. We have Katherine Carlo, part of Harbor View Advisors. And so, Katherine, go ahead and introduce yourself, where you're from, any fun personal facts that you would like to share.
Yeah, so I've lived in the Jacksonville, St. Augustine area since I was 7. Went to Nice High School. Now I'm a senior at the University of Florida studying finance, and I'm currently a summer analyst at Harbor View Advisors.
So you are from Jacksonville area. So you are familiar with the city. And so let's go back to high school. You went to Nice. So when you were kind of deciding about your future, like, did you know that you wanted to pursue your education? Like, kind of what led you to University of Florida, and then like about your major with finance? Kind of explain that process for us.
Yeah, for sure. So I think I always knew that I wanted to go to college. I've always loved learning, and I kind of just knew I wanted a higher educational experience. I actually went into college as pre-med, went to preview where you register for classes, looked at all the chemistry, and was like,
Okay.
wait, this isn't for me. So I did this really cool experience called Youth Leadership St. John's, where you go around the county and meet different business leaders and leaders of nonprofits, the public sector as well. And I just really loved that experience and saw how business relationships kind of
Right.
form the backbone of the community, and realized, I can make an impact through business. Just as I kind of thought, oh, I want to make an impact through medicine, kind of pivoted and ran with it and have loved it.
That's awesome. Okay, so it really you made a decision about finance because of different experiences that you had, and you realized like, okay, maybe I'm going to pivot from pre-med into like the business world within finance, just based on those experiences. So that's always really key for students to understand. Is like the more time you spend with other people, you kind of figure out what you actually might like. Okay, so you
Yeah.
have experienced college. You are now a senior at University of Florida, and so you entered into per se into a normal time and a normal era, and experienced a couple of years of college within that framework. But then all of a sudden, 2020, and then COVID hit. So explain kind of what was that experience like going through college with COVID?
Yeah, I think at first the hardest thing was not even academically, but socially. I
Mm.
was living in a sorority house with 70 other girls, was with my friends all the time, went to the library together, studied together.
Yeah,
And I went to, being in a room studying by myself, doing all my classes alone. So it's definitely a mental adjustment.
yeah,
Luckily, I had my family to rely on and stayed in touch with my friends, but couldn't see them for a few months. And
yeah.
so the main thing was just keeping that motivation and remembering that it'll pass, and remembering why I, came to college was to get an education, and just, keeping that end goal in mind to get through kind of more difficult times. And, it did pass. And in Florida, we kind of opened more quickly than some other states. So
Right.
I guess my junior year, the fall started off semi-normal, but by the spring, luckily we were able to, I was able to study and see friends and everything. So I would say the main thing is just keeping an open mind, being adaptable, being flexible, and even if a change seems negative at the time, positive things can still come out of it. So just try to keep that in mind and remember your end goals.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's important to know with the significance of adapting, because through life we're going to experience hardships. I mean, the whole world experiences hardship together pretty much, that no person was not affected. And so it's important to have an open mindset and be like, all right, what do we have to do to keep on moving on together? Now you are interning with Harborview. And so can you explain exactly what is your role there? And then also, what does Harborview do?
Yeah, so Harborview is a boutique investment bank. They serve middle market clients, and they kind of combine investment banking and management consulting. And they have 5 main verticals, which is professional services, HR tech, financial services, industrial tech.
Okay. And so why did you, like, have you heard about, did you hear about Harborview before? Like kind of what got you to this investment bank?
Yeah, so I actually, I had a TA my freshman year who had interned at Harborview, and I reached out to her. She kind of became a mentor. I reached out for more advice and support, and she kind of guided me to apply my freshman year, which I had no experience. They take rising seniors. So I just submitted my resume just so they would know about me, get my name after there, and didn't end up getting the internship my freshman year, but they invited me to networking events. So I went to those my sophomore, junior year, and then applied my junior year for the internship, and ended up getting it. So that was super exciting.
That's awesome. And then once again, it goes to show the importance of networking. Um, from all these different types of interviews I've done, it shows that the people that you get to know from cold calls or emails or through friend of a friends or professional connections, that's what can honestly lead to some really great internships, some really great jobs. And so I'm sure that you've gotten to interact with some really great professionals as well, maybe for a future job down the road after you graduate from UF. So that's really exciting. My final question for you, Katherine, is how has this internship like changed or helped solidify like your perspective on the investment banking industry?
Yeah, so I think you always kind of have an idea of what you like or what you want to do in college. And this summer has reaffirmed that, which is great. I think internships that you kind of realize, wait, this isn't for me, is also extremely helpful. And I've had those experiences as well. But what I've really learned this summer is that investment banking requires so many skills that I didn't even think about. For the analyst position specifically, you think, oh, financial modeling, which is, using Microsoft Excel to kind of forecast future projections for financial statements and incorporate and model past, historical statements as well. So I kind of knew that. But, so much working in PowerPoint, communication skills, just being flexible as an intern and open to learning. So yeah, it's been a great experience and I'm really thankful for it.
That's great. And what I appreciate about your story is that like in high school, you had an idea that you wanted to go to pursue your education. And then that helped kind of as you moved on, or you're like, all right, I'm going to go to UF, but you didn't really have like an exact plan, or it shifted honestly. But like the more people that you interacted with, like it kind of helped form who you were and then also kind of figured out what you liked. And as you progress through college, you're like, all right, yeah, let's stick with finance. And so through networking events, you're able to meet with other people, including with Harborview advisors, and then how this is helping solidify your pathway. And so that's why I think is so great about growing as a professional, is that it's not this like one singular path that is super simple. Like there's definitely curves, there's definitely bumps. It doesn't go exactly as you had planned. So well done. And I wish you the best of luck, Katherine, and just really appreciate your time explaining your life and just kind of what you do at Harborview. So appreciate your time.
Thank you.